Hello traders, I welcome you to E-marketTubeFX, and you are with your trader Henry Ampemdakon. Today I want us to look at some news I posted on my Facebook page regarding Trump to hit Europe with 10% tariffs until Greenland deal is agreed. I posted this news on my Facebook page, and I thought it wise to share this news on YouTube so that my followers on YouTube will also get to know the impact of this news on the forex market. As we forex traders, one thing that we know that drive price on the market is fundamentals, and this news has something to do with the forex market, of which we forex traders are going to take advantage of it. This news come as a result of earlier news I posted with regard to troops from Europe moving to Greenland to boost security. I posted this news also on my Facebook page. I remember I've also made a video of this on YouTube for viewers also to know how this is going to impact the forex market. I've shared everything with you. If you've not watched the video, make sure you do that. As you can see on your screen, I posted this news on my Facebook page. I've also made a video of it on YouTube for my viewers also to know how this is going to impact the forex market, and it has even taken effect already. So now, looking at the response from the U.S. President Donald Trump with regard to this particular news, troops from Denmark, Germany, France, Sweden, and Finland have arrived in Greenland to boost security. Trump has also responded with regard to the 10% tariffs to be imposed on Europe until the Greenland deal is agreed. So that is the response from Donald Trump, who happens to be the president of the United States of America. So for we forex traders, we cannot stop the first gentleman of the US to stop fighting over Greenland. We also cannot stop Europe from fighting over Greenland. All we forex traders can do is to take advantage of this important news, how it's going to impact the forex market. We are going to take advantage of it, then pick position on the forex market, then cash out. Yes, and that's what we do. That's what we do. So for us, we will sit back and watch how things will go. Then we pick position on the forex market. So for the purpose of this video or this content, we are going to look at how this news is going to impact the forex market in the coming days, so that we forex traders can take advantage of it and cash out, as I earlier mentioned. So let's look at the details of this news. Then how it's going to impact the forex market. We are going to discuss everything so that we will position ourselves for good trade in the future. Trump to hit Europe with 10% tariffs until Greenland deal agreed. Trump has announced 10% tariffs starting February 1st on goods from 8 European countries: Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, France, Germany, the Netherlands, and the UK, until a deal is reached on the US acquiring Greenland. If unresolved by June 1st, tariffs jump to 25%. This is not a standard trade policy. It tied to a geopolitical objective, Greenland, and has already drawn strong backlash from European leaders. So that is the decision from the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump. Yes, so there's going to be a 10% tariffs come February 1st. If deal is not reached, come June, there's going to be an increase to 25%. So interesting days ahead. Yes, interesting days ahead. So as I earlier mentioned, we forex traders, we cannot stop Mr. President Donald Trump of US to stop fighting over Greenland. Then also we cannot stop Europe from fighting over Greenland. But we forex traders are going to look at how this is going to impact the forex market. Then we pick position and cash out, because that is what we do every day. That is what we do. The fundamental, the geopolitical event, how it affects price on the market. If you're a forex trader and you are not interested in some of these things, then you are not a trader, because on the forex market, price does not move by itself. So if you think that Forex is all about drawing support and resistance, ask yourself, if you draw your support and resistance, your trend line, ask yourself, what is going to influence price to push to the support? What is going to influence price to push to the resistance? There are factors that influence price on the market. And these are some of the factors that influence price on the market, the fundamental, the geopolitical event. So we are going to look at this in details, how it's going to affect the forex market and how we are going to pick position in the future and cash out from this financial market. So let's continue with what I want to share with you. If you've joined me on YouTube, you are watching this video on YouTube at this very moment, remember you are with E-marketTubeFX and you are with your trader Henry Ampimdako, and this is what we do. Yes, this is what we do on this platform. I do my best to help traders, especially newbies, to understand the forex market so that we all can cash out. Yes, we all can cash out. So let's continue. Risk sentiment and USD strength. Sudden tariffs escalation, especially against major economies like Germany, France, UK, increases global risk aversion. During trade conflict and geopolitical tension, investors move into perceived safe haven assets, particularly the USD, JPY, and CHF. Let's look at the Forex impact. EURUSD and GBPUSD may weaken as traders price in slower European growth and risk of USD demand. USD JPY and USD CHF could strengthen as safe haven positioning increases. While tariffs disrupt global trade expectation, uncertainty often boosts dollar demand. This effect happened in past tariffs escalation episodes as market priced in disruption and risk, not just pure economics. So over here, looking at what I just shared with you, what I just read, when this thing happened, when this news finally materialized, when this tax or tariff is finally implemented come February 1st, how we forex traders are going to pick position on the forex market. We've come to know that it's going to weaken the euro and that of the GBP. So investors or traders are going to pay particular attention to that of the safe haven asset, which happens to be the USD, the JPY, and that of the CHF. So if you are a forex trader and this tariff is finally implemented, because it's going to weaken the euro and there will be high demand for the USD, if you are in the euro USD market, this is how you are going to trade it. If you are in the euro USD market, because such news is going to weaken the euro, you will think of what? Selling the USD in the euro USD market. If you also happens to be in the GBP USD market, you think of what? Selling the USD. You think of what? Selling the US, because such news is going to cause the euro and that of what? The GBP to weaken when it comes to the Forex market. Why am I saying this? When you look at that of the Euro USD, the euro happens to be the base currency, and that of what? The USD happens to be the quote currency. If you've not watched the video I've already made with regard to the Forex currency pair, as you can see on your screen, you can watch so that you deepen your understanding when it comes to the Forex currency pair, so that some of these things would be difficult for you. So as I earlier mentioned, because such news is going to, when finally implemented, is going to weaken the euro and that of the what? The GBP. The investors are going to, or there's going to be a high demand for the USD and that of the other major currency like the JPY and that of the CHF. If you are in the Euro USD market, you think of what? Selling the USD. If you also happens to be in the USD JPY market, you think of what? You think of what? Buying the USD. Yes, you think of what? Buying the USD, because it's going to cause a high demand for the USD. So as I earlier mentioned, we are going to look at the impact of this news, and that is what I'm doing with you. We are going to look at looking at the impact of this tariff on Forex as and when this news is finally implemented. So when it did happen, remember E-marketTubeFX have already shared the details with you, so you take note, so that we all pick position, important position. We pick a prudent position on the Forex market, then we cash out, because that's what we do. That's what we do. So let's continue with what I want to share with you with regard to the second point: trade sensitive currencies and European foreign exchange. European exporters are among the biggest drivers of GDP in the Eurozone and UK. Tariffs on goods destined for the large US market could reduce demand and trade flows. Let's look at the Forex impact. Euro and GBP may see sustained downside pressure if markets start factoring in slower trade and weaker growth prospects. Scandinavian currencies, the NOK and SEK, may weaken further because these smaller open economies are particularly trade exposed. This is not about trade cost. Uncertainty itself can weaken economic outlook for Europe. So this is what I earlier mentioned. So as and when this tariff is finally implemented, honestly, it's going to affect the euro and that of the what? The GDP. Yes, it's going to affect the euro and that of the GDP, because as you already know, the US presents a large market for most of these goods which are being exported from Europe to that of what? To the US. So as and when this tariff is finally implemented, it's going to cause the euro and that of the GBP in terms of their performance in the Forex market. So if you are a trader, and when this news is finally implemented, as I earlier mentioned, you do your analysis and price get to your point of interest, remember that you think of what? Selling the USD instead of buying the euro at that time, because this is going to weaken the euro and also going to weaken the GBP as well. So let's all take note. Let's quickly look at the third point: policy and geopolitical uncertainty. This tariffs move has political dimensions and has already triggered political condemnations and strategic tension between the US and NATO partners. Financial market hate uncertainty, especially when it affects alliances or has unpredictable outcomes that elevate volatility for currencies and cross-asset market. Short-term FX risk. wider spreads and bigger jumps in major pairs during key announcements. Sentiment-driven flows that can override fundamentals in the near term. So that is how this is going to affect the FX market. So let's all take note. Let's quickly look at that of the fourth point, which is timing matters. The announcement set to date. The announcement set to date. That is February 1st, 10% tariffs begin. So come February 1st, we expect that the 10% tariffs will start. So when finally implemented, it's going to have a direct impact on the euro and that of the GBP. So interesting days ahead. Yes, interesting days ahead. Then when deal with regard to the US attempt to acquire Greenland is not reached, it's going to increase to 25% come June 1st. Now let's look at it. This gives market a defined risk window where traders may position ahead of this event, potentially causing volatility before and at these dates. This is where my interest is. Yes, I would like to take the latter part again. This gives market a defined risk window. Yes, it gives us a defined risk window where traders may pick position ahead of this event, particularly potentially causing volatility before and at this date. So if you're a trader and you are not interested in some of these fundamental issues or geopolitical events like this, as I earlier mentioned, that you don't know what you are doing, because these are factors that influence price on the market. So we equip ourselves with the details. We are going to pay attention to every details of this event, this geopolitical event happening among this big nation, US and that of the major countries in Europe, UK, Finland, Denmark, Germany. We are going to pay attention to every details of this event so that we take advantage of it. So as I earlier told you, as and when this tariff finally implemented, this is how we are going to pick position. Think of what? Selling the USD when it comes to the EURUSD market. If you go to the GBPUSD market, you think of what? Selling the US, because when this tariff is finally implemented, surely it's going to affect the euro and that of the GBP. Remember, you are with E-marketTubeFX and you are with your trader Henry Ampim Daku. Today, we are looking at the 10% tariffs, which is a decision from the President of the United States of America with an attempt to acquire the Greenland. If deal not reached, tariffs are going to increase from 10% to 25% come June 1st. So we Forex traders, I'm a trader myself, so we are looking at the impact of this news when finally implemented. This decision by the President finally implemented come February 1st, when finally implemented, how it's going to affect the Forex market. That is what we are looking at. So if you're a trader, I pray that this will help you in your decision making as and when you are doing your analysis in the Forex market. Now let's look at trading takeaways. Short-term weeks. Expect volatility spikes, especially around tariffs implementation February 1st and potential escalation June 1st. I would like to take this side again. Expect volatility spikes, especially around tariffs implementation February 1st and potential escalation June 1st. So when this tariff is finally implemented, we should expect volatility spikes. Yes, we should expect high volatility on the market because, as I earlier mentioned, this news or decision by the U.S. government gives market a defined risk window. So we should expect high volatility as and when this tariff is finally implemented come February 1st, then increased to 25% come June 1st when deal is not reached. Now let's continue. Risk off position may strengthen the USD against European currencies. So, as I already told you, when this tariff finally implemented, it's going to weaken the European currency, example the euro, and that of the Great British pound. Yes, it's going to weaken these two major currencies. It's going to weaken these two major currencies on the forex market. So if you're a trader and you are in a Euro USD market, I've already told you that you should think of selling the USD. If you also happen to be in the GBPUSD market, you should also think of selling the USD. Yes, because in such market, the USD happens to be the quote currency. I've already told you, if you don't understand some of these things, if you're a newbie and you don't understand some of these things that I mentioned, the base currency and the quote currency, I've already made a video on YouTube concerning forex currency pair. As you can see on your screen, you can watch this video and deepen your understanding when it comes to forex currency pairs. So that is it. Now let's continue. If tariffs persist or escalate, European growth expectation could soften, further pressuring euro and GBP. I've already told you all these things. So we are looking at the impact that is going to have on the forex market. So the trading takeaways is what we are going to look at. If tariffs persist or escalate, European growth expectation could soften, further pressuring the euro and that of the GBP. If political negotiations ease tensions, market could retrace initial moves. So that is what I want you guys to take note of. Remember, you are with E-marketTubeFX and you are with your trader Henry Ampim. Today we are looking at the impact that this news or decision by the president of the United States of America is going to have on the forex market regard to the 10% tariff to be imposed on major countries in Europe. Yes, major countries in Europe with regard to their decision or sending troops to Greenland to boost security, of which is of great interest to the United States of America. So because of that, the US has also taken a decision or responded to this call by placing a tariff, planning to put or place a tariff on these countries come February 1st, 10% of which, if deal is not reached with regard to the U.S. interest to acquire Greenland is not reached with Europe, it is going to increase to 25%. And this is going to have a direct impact when it comes to the euro and that of the GBP performance on the forex market. So the impact is what we are going to look at so that we can prepare ourselves for the position we are going to pick. I've already told you that when this deal or when this tariff is finally implemented, never think of buying the euro or the GBP. You should think of selling the USD when you go to the Euro USD market, or when you go to the GBP USD market, you should think of selling USD. And if the USD JPY market, if you happen to be in the USD JPY market, you should think of what? Buying the USD, because in such market, the USD happens to be the base currency. Yes, the USD happens to be the base currency, and this tariff is going to strengthen the USD. Yes, this tariff honestly is going to strengthen the USD as against the major currencies that we have on the forex market. So we should all take note of it. Now let's look at the bottom line. This tariff news isn't purely economic. It's entangled with geopolitics, alliances, and uncertainty that makes the impact on forex more sentiment driven than usual, and this often leads to bigger swing and faster moves in currency market. So this is what I want traders in this forex industry to take note of when it happened. Remember, E-marketTubeFX, I've already shared with you the details as to how it's going to this news or this tariff is going to impact the forex market and how we are going to trade it as and when this tariff is finally implemented come February 1st. 10% of which deal is not reached, going to go to 25% come June 1st. So remember, you are with the EMarketTubeFX and you are with your trader Henry and Pim.com. I posted this news on my Facebook page and that of my TikTok page, a LinkedIn page, and the IG page. I thought it wise to share this news with my followers on YouTube. So if you're not following me on any of these social media handles, make sure you do so. You search for EMarketTubeFX and follow me for more updates in the financial market. I thank you very much for your attention. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and share for more updates from EMarketTubeFX in the financial market. Bye-bye.